Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Dream Desk Study Studio. Remember,
It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we grow.
you are safe here. Take your time.
Keep going, one step at a time. Let's do our best until the end of today's lesson.
Today we are learning to understand what decimal place value means, identify tenth and hundredth, read and say decimal numbers correctly. Before we learn decimals, let's quickly review the whole numbers and their place values. Here we have a 3-digit number. The digit 5 is in one's place value, and the value of it is 5. Digit 4 is in tens place value, and the value of it is 40. Digit 3 is in hundredths place value, and its value is 300. Do you all recall the difference between place value and values now? From ones, if we go to the place value next to it, to its left, it becomes tens, and we know that tens is 10 times bigger than ones, because 10 of ones will become 1 of tens. And the same will happen if we move one more place value from tens to hundredths, because 10 of tens is going to make 1 of hundredths. Then what is going to happen if we go the other way? If the place value moves to the left, then it gets 10 times bigger. What is going to happen when the place value moves to the right? Before we think about that, we need to know that after one's place, which we thought is the smallest place value, is not the smallest place value we have. When we are talking about the whole number, yes, it is the smallest value. But there is a decimal point that is hiding after the ones, and it looks like a full stop, and we call this a decimal point. For example, when we write 1, we write 1 as just 1. We don't show the decimal point when there are no numbers in the decimal places. For example, 1.0 or 1.00. They all mean the same as 1 because there are no numbers after the decimal point. So we don't have to write it as 1.00000000 endless, because there is no point, because there are no values here on the right. So we simply just write it as 1. However, there are place values after the decimal point. So this place value, the one after the decimal point, we call this place value tenth. It sounds a little bit like tens, but you should not get them confused. This is tenth, and tenth means when we have one whole thing, we split this into 10 equal pieces, and we'll pretend each of these pieces are equal. That's what it means when we are talking about tenth here. Is this tenth place value going to be bigger than ones or smaller than ones? That is right. It is going to be smaller than ones because I have equally shared one whole into 10 equal pieces. So if I have 3 in 10th, that means I am talking about 1, 2, and 3 pieces out of 10. So 1.30 is going to be 1 whole piece plus 3 small pieces. And we read it as 1.3. And some of you may think, hang on a minute, why is it 1.3? We have a 0 here, and it looks more like 30. And some students try to read this number as 1.30, but that is not correct because this 0 here tells us that there is no value there. Just like when we talked about 1.0 equals to just 1, 1.30 equals to 1.3. So there is no need to write the 0 in this place value. Then now, let's take a look at this place value here, the one next to the 10th. We call this place value hundredth. And you may feel it sounds similar to the hundreds, but you must not get them confused because hundredth means one whole has been equally separated into 100 pieces. Okay, I have tried to separate this one whole pie into one of the 100th. So I have split this one whole into 10 equal pieces, and then I have split one of these pieces into another 10 pieces, which makes one of the 100th. So that's 10 pieces, 10 pieces, 10 pieces, 10 pieces, and so on. 10 times 10 equals 100, so it will make 100 pieces. So the value of 100th is going to be one whole pie equally shared into 100 pieces. So here comes a question. Is 100th larger or is 10th larger? You're right. 10th is 10 times larger than 100th because one piece of 10th is going to equal to 10 pieces of 100th. So if I have 5 in the 100th place, then I will be coloring in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Half of this one piece, because there are 10 pieces, like there. That's going to be 5 of the 100th of a piece. So if I have 1.35, then that means I have one whole pie and 3 small pieces of the pie and 5 of even smaller pieces of pie. And we read this decimal as 1.35, not 1.35. That is incorrect. Then let's have a look at this question. On top, I have 2.4, and on the bottom, I have 2.29. Do you think you can guess which number is larger? If you had guessed it's the bottom one, that is incorrect. Although it looks like 2.29, it is not 2.29, it is 2.29. So we look at the largest place value first, which is the ones. So ones are equal. Then we move to the 10th place, which is next largest. 4 is larger than 2, right? So we know that 2.4 is larger than 2.29 because we have 4 in the 10th place and on the bottom we only have 2 in the 10th place. 9, it does not matter because it's in the 100th place, and 10 of the 100th will only equal to 1 of the 10th. This 9 will not make any difference. Therefore, 2.4 is going to be the larger number. Some of you may remember from the fractions lesson that 1/10. Some of you may remember from the fractions lesson that 1/10 can also be written as a fraction like that, and it equals to 1 piece out of 10 equally shared pieces. And you are right if you remember this. 1/10 in fraction equals to 0.1 in decimal, and they mean the same thing and they are interchangeable. So if you were wondering about this, you are right and they do mean the same thing. So well done. If you have 0.01, that also equals to 1 over 100, which is 1/100th. And here we have 100th place. So this is also read as 100th. Now let's check your understanding. Which decimal is bigger? 0.51 or 0.2? Yes, you're right. 0.51 is bigger because we have 5 in the 10th place, and here we only have 2 in the 10th place. Which decimal is bigger? 0.38 or 0.6? That's right, 0.6 is bigger because we have 6 in the 10th place and we only have 3 in the 10th place here. What is the place value of 7? That's right, it is in 100th place. Then what is the value of 7? Yes, it is 700th. Or 0.07. You could also write this as 7 over 100. They all mean the same thing. Then what is the value of digit 2? Pause the video please and think about it. Yes, that is right. Place value is 10th. Then what's the value of digit 2? Yes, it is 0.2, or you could also write it as 2 over 10. Lastly, how do you read this number? That is right, it's 4.08.